My name's Scott. I born and raised here. First started piquing my interest about sleep apnea when a friend of mine got diagnosed, and I was telling her what I was going through and symptoms that I was having, and she's like, "Hey, you need to get checked out." It had been happening for years and years and years, and I always just figured it was normal. You know. Um, So anyway, I scheduled an appointment with my doctor, and was asking him about a million questions, like what's next, what do we do? I figured it would be a just kind of a more drawn out process than it was, but went in, got the sleep study. I ended up doing a split study, which means the first half of the night I was off the CPAP, tested positive, and then she put me on a CPAP. And in the morning, she asked me a bunch of questions, and it was actually pretty smooth, pretty simple, and it's just been amazing from there on out. So I got hooked up with my own machine, and I got energy, and just I don't know. It's kind of like if when you don't realize that you need glasses, and you're like, oh yeah, well I can see fine, and then finally you get fitted up with glasses. You're like, oh okay, yeah, well wow, I really was blind. That's kind of the experience that I've gone through with this. My life before, I stayed tired. A lot of times when I was driving, I'd start dozing. Uh, it was actually putting a strain on my marriage as well. The snoring was horrible, so it's been nice to actually be able to sleep in the same room as my wife now. That just constantly lethargic. Just waking up, out of breath. Kind of scary. It actually triggered some anxiety. My blood pressure was up. Just all kind of different health problems I didn't even know was connected to sleep apnea. I'm 30 something years old. I was on a blood pressure medicine for a while. Exercise. They were just like, exercise more. That should help. Go to bed earlier. I tried melatonin, thinking it was maybe some kind of insomnia or something. I had no idea. And nothing seemed to fix the problem at all. So I'd still wake up, gasping, and still at work, just 2 o'clock hit, and I just couldn't even keep my eyes open anymore. So yeah, the process is super easy. Talked to my doctor. He said you're gonna get a barrage of phone calls. I figured it would be a couple of weeks before then. Or a couple of weeks after that, and I mean they were right on it. I got a call the next day from the sleep study, and it got in there. They told me, maybe you'll have to come back another night. I don't know. I was pretty nervous about it when I first came in, just not knowing what was going to happen. But I mean, super simple process. They were amazing down there. Explained everything as they were doing it, and it just made it completely, a relaxed environment. I mean, you're hooked up to a couple of different devices, so it's, you'd figure you'd be a little bit more uncomfortable, but I mean, it was great. So then she said, it takes about 2 hours before I could test, before the test showed that I was either positive or negative, and she says even if she doesn't come in with a mask to put me on the mask, that I could still be positive and I'd have to come in another night. Well, it was probably about 2 hours and 15 minutes in, and she's like, yeah, you tested positive, you're going to have to wear a mask. And she showed me the nasal mask and the full face and recommended the full face. And then I used that the rest of the night, and woke up. I instantly felt a difference waking up that morning. I was having some issues with the mask leaking at the beginning, and brought it in. It had been, it wasn't fit right. They actually were pretty perceptive about, understanding about, okay, let's try this, let's try that. I actually went from a full face to a nasal that I'm using now, which I like the most. I didn't think I would. My goal was after the first month was 4 hours a night for 21 out of 30 days. and I wore it I think I passed in every category except there was one night that I missed it because extenuating circumstances, so I was actually unable to come home that night. But I've worn it every single night for over 4 hours. So I mean, it was a pretty easy goal. I was expecting them to go, oh yeah, okay, now we're monitoring this. This is, we're because when I got it, they're like, oh, they can check the data and all this. And I was thinking that it was going to be more like more unobtainable goals, but the goals were super easy. When I heard what the goals were, I actually was kind of like, wow, that's absolutely completely obtainable. Then I've tried different masks. They were completely flexible with understanding that different people like different things. I figured there'd be a little bit more. I almost was embarrassed because I was like, I'm coming back again to I need to try something else. But I mean it was just a great experience all around. It's helped me at my job. I actually had concentration problems at my job. I've had multiple people tell me at work that my whole demeanor's changed. That they can tell that I'm more focused. That I'm not so. I was just scattered. Couldn't put my thoughts together right. That's helped. Actually, weight loss. I've lost 10 pounds since I've been on the machine. Driving home, I don't get that 2 o'clock hit anymore. It actually, the funny thing about it was, I'm on a weird schedule. I work a little bit later, 11:45. So I was used to getting up at like, 10:30. And now I wake up like 9 o'clock and I feel like I should stay in bed, but I'm so rested, I'm just ready to go. I end up getting up earlier now. So, and it's a lot better process. It was like I got hit by a train, before this, and now I'm up. I'm ready to go. I've started running in the mornings now, so never thought I'd do that either. So yeah, I definitely would recommend. I have recommended it. My father actually did a sleep study. He just got done with the second night last night, so he did it. My sister's actually going in too. It's funny when you start talking about sleep apnea people, at the water cooler or whatever, people start coming out of the woodworks. I'm on a machine too. I'm on a machine too. There's a couple of people at work have actually gone to their doctor to discuss it too. So I'm a huge advocate.